A few episodes back, I spoke about the 7 foundations of value, the 7 key aspects you need to consider when building your e-commerce business to sell it. Today, we're going to look at the first one, timing, because this is the series where I give you a tip that you can apply to your e-commerce business to help you sell it for the best possible price, deal structure, and at a time that suits you. I'm Ben Leonard, and I built, scaled, and sold an international 7-figure e-commerce business. Now I help others to do the same with ecombrokers.co.uk, the e-commerce brokerage by e-commerce people for e-commerce people. This is Exits Made Easy, an Ecom Made Easy sister show. Timing is everything, or so the saying goes. Well, when it comes to exit planning, it's not quite everything, but it is very important. The whole point of exit planning is to prepare the business so that it is in the best possible position to get you the best possible deal. So when it comes to timing, you need to ask yourself, how does the timing of selling this business impact the value a buyer would be willing to pay for it? And how does it make the business more or less attractive to a potential buyer? First, let's look at a high level view. Then we'll look at some more details afterwards. We want to sell a business when it is growing with plenty of growth history, because buyers want to see a track record, evidence that this business is sustainable and is on the up. But we also want to make sure that we have not maxed out growth. We need to leave some meat on the bone for the buyer to enjoy. They want to take your business and accelerate the growth you have already enjoyed. How do we do that? By leaving opportunities for them to continue to grow it. Now, at this point, I'm at risk of moving away from the specific topic of timing, so I'll leave it there and cover that in other episodes. But suffice to say, good opportunities to leave for a buyer would be additional products, sales channels, and international expansion. Okay, so generally speaking, we want to time the exit so the business is growing but not maxed out. But what about specifics? Well, when it comes to timing, put the interests of potential buyers ahead of your own. This will dramatically increase your chances of closing a deal. If your brand is not seasonal, then you can pretty much sell it at any time of year. Now, having said that, most brands do experience a spike in the run-up to Christmas, albeit not necessarily a big one. But suppose you have a highly seasonal brand and 70% or more of your sales occur later in the year, say between Black Friday and mid-January. You might say to yourself, well, I should sell this thing at the end of January so I can take as much profit out of the business for myself as possible. Well, you'd be wrong. The buyer is going to want to start getting a return on their investment as quickly as possible. If you sold the business right before the seasonal peak in sales, then the buyer gets a big cash injection to look forward to. This can help them fuel growth through marketing or product development, or perhaps pay off a loan if they took a loan to fund the deal in the first place, or simply just refill the coffers. When you consider the timing that works best for the buyer, you are actually by extension making it better for yourself, because the business becomes a more attractive proposition to the buyer and therefore more valuable to the potential buyer. They will be willing to pay a much higher multiple, which will more than make up for any money you would have been able to take for yourself from those peak season sales. But Ben, I hear you shouting at me, my business is growing and I want to get the peak season sales into our trailing 12 months so that my SDE or my EBITDA is higher. I hear you. Listen, not to worry, we can forecast what it's likely to be and either value the business from a forecast or account for it in a higher multiple. This is what you get when you work with pros. So, to sum up, high level, plan to exit when your business is on the up, with plenty of growth opportunities still there for a potential buyer to exploit. Detailed level, if your business is highly seasonal, then plan to sell the business shortly before the peak. The key, of course, is to always work with experts. I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe And you can get more at www.ecombrokers.co.uk, where we plan and execute the best possible exit for your e-commerce business. Cheers.